Let me clear my throat real quick so I can talk about some things that have been on my mind. Alright, so my name is Rene Guerrero, and I'm here with my friend
Sean Manning.
And we both came together in a very dark and stormy night when it was a full-on geostorm hurricane coming out. And we were in the middle of a hurricane heist, and Sean looked at me and said, "Hey, Rene, you should do a podcast." And I looked at him. I was like, "Sean, you're right. What should we call it?" And he said, Exploding Penguins 3, Total Annihilation. I was like, that's a great idea. But let's call it something else.
What really happened was that when I said that, he said, "How would we make a logo?" And then I thought, fuck. My first idea was, let's just make a bunch of Gunthers from Adventure Time. But then I was like, I can't fucking draw.
So, here we are. We are the Innsville Twin Amphitheater, and we're here to talk about movies and pretty much discuss what we thought, what we felt, and pretty much our opinion about the movie.
Yeah, we're basically just trying to have fun with it. We're trying to hope you have fun listening to us as well. We're basically two really relaxed guys talking about movies. Sometimes we're going to come at it from a serious direction. Sometimes we might come at it from a really silly perspective, which is mostly goofy, and that's probably what you're going to hear kind of the majority of the time. So yeah, two guys having fun. Hopefully you'll have fun as well. Again, we're not trying to be serious. We're not trying to be movie critics in the sense of being serious movie critics. We're just trying to have fun, and we're trying to hope that you have fun as well. So,
without further ado, here we go. Okay, so here it is. The first one ever, the first podcast, the first time I'm looking at Sean's fucking face. The first time.
That's not true. You've seen my face multiple times.
The first movie that we are going to talk about,
well, at least for today,
is not a 2018 gem. Oh, there is a 2018 gem.
For us, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was a fun movie. And the movie that I'm talking about is Predator, or The Predator, right?
The Predator. So this isn't the original movie. In case y'all are wondering, I think there's multiple sequels. This isn't the original one. This isn't on Schwarzenegger. This is the new Predator that came out 2018, directed by Shane Black.
My man, Shane Black.
That's pretty knowledgeable, right? No, it's not really. So kind of basically, let's go into this. Rene, what did you? Let's go from the beginning of the movie. If the beginning of the movie, I believe it starts off with what? It
starts off with a fucking spaceship smashing through the ozone. Actually,
it does smash through the ozone.
It's like a chase. I think it's a chase.
Oh yeah, because there's like a big old another spaceship is coming after it.
Yeah, pretty much. And then there is this.
He lands on Earth, but he doesn't really land. Like he crashes. Wait a second. The military guy, he's like.
They were on some special op where they're supposed to take off this bad guy.
Are they in Vietnam?
They're not in Vietnam. I don't know where the fuck they're at.
They made it feel like they were Vietnam. He's all dressed up.
I thought it was Middle Eastern, but it was definitely in the jungle. So
it was in the jungle.
He had tan camo. I mean, you wear tan in the desert.
He was
dressed
up basically to not be seen. That's the best way to put it.
I mean, but he was definitely noticeable.
So he's basically hunting something down, which I now think about. Never is explained throughout the rest of the movie what he was necessarily hunting down.
I don't think it mattered what the hell he was doing.
At that point in time, all you knew is he was a professional sniper, and he looked like he was pretty good because he was aiming down his sights.
Yeah.
I think his whoever was trying to contact him or whatever happened specifically, he's about to take down his sights. He has a target locked, and then from God's green earth, did not expect this, a giant spaceship. Now, if I had saw that shit, I don't know what I would have done. But I think that he reacted pretty well, so he got a shot off, right? Did he kill the right guy?
He did kill the guy. He killed him instantly because there's some rumble in the sky. And he saw the spaceship enter, so he's like, oh, and he panicked and he fucking killed the guy.
He killed the guy, but let's be honest, we don't know who the fuck the guy was. We don't know if that really meant anything. He could have been killing a good guy. We couldn't have really understood because it was never explained throughout the rest of the movie. So he kills this guy. The spaceship crashes. He's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Runs away, right?
Uh-huh.
And then
that's happening, yeah.
he runs away, and you see, like, he's like looking around. He's like, what the fuck was that? I think he goes to the side.
You know what's fun? He has a partner.
Oh, he has a partner. He has like 2 fucking friends.
He has whatever friends.
He's like
friends.
2 friends, and they're like soldiers. So like you gotta give them a lot of props. Like these guys have been to war together. You can kind of sense it, even though it's not explained either. But it's okay. I mean, you're okay. You understand that.
Yeah, it's hinted, but whatever. We don't need all that.
So he like walks around, and then he sees him invisible, right?
Yeah, there's an invisible one,
and then he tries to fight him off. If I'm correct. And like he like fails, and his partner like gets fucking destroyed, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he was hanging from a tree.
Does he like
half his face was missing? I remember thinking about that. I remember thinking of that like, oh, this is how we're gonna start the movie. This is badass.
I was like, oh shit! Awesome. I was like, this is. It reminded me of the old Predator.
And then what had happened? I think he like shot one boomerang thing or whatever, and like some commotion happens, and it comes back and slices that fucking guy in half.
Oh yeah,
that's hanging from the tree, and then like the Predator's on the ground and fucking bodies everywhere, dismantled, and then blood is spewing from like the legs onto the Predator, and then you can see the Predator's face like from the blood.
So this is what I remember specifically. He has the mask.
Yeah.
Or like he loses his mask somehow. He loses his wristband somehow, and I remember the guy like escaping. And then he goes to like, I don't know how, he goes to like some village somewhere.
Yeah, a village.
And he decides to consume the ball of metal, if I'm correct.
It was like this metal ball that turns you invisible.
Yeah.
Alien technology.
Which, because when the Predator lost like his mask and his gauntlet and all that.
Yeah.
He took it. Mm-hmm. But I guess, I don't know what the reason was specifically to consume the ball of metal. I guess it was like an important part of the movie later
there was informants, there was people looking for him, and they knew that he was like a witness to like that crash. So they took him in for questioning, and like to see if he had anything. The only thing what he did is he FedExed a fucking alien. He FedExed alien mask and an alien like fucking gauntlet, whatever, wrist guard. A wrist guard to his son who has Asperger's.
Oh yeah, he does do that.
Yeah, and so he swallowed the ball that makes him invisible, and somehow he gets.
Is that
the
what
ball.
It was?
It makes him invisible.
Why the fuck would you swallow that?
And never showed how we got that ball ever again. Oh, I didn't know. It is hinted that he got the ball.
I never knew that was made it invisible.
Yeah, made him invisible.
So that's how he was going invisible?
Yes.
So he decided, these guys are going to come looking for me. I have this invisible ball with me. I'm sending my stuff home.
He's FedEx.
Which somehow still gets to his family. They don't check his shit.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, big box.
No, he sent it to a P.O. box.
He sent it to a P.O. box.
It accidentally got sent to his fucking ex-wife and son.
But technically, I think it's his. His current wife. He just never shows up. We're getting way too personal with this guy's personal life.
Anyways, this guy was cool. He was badass.
So he's pretty chill. Yeah, he's pretty badass. He ends up meeting like a bunch of other cool guys, which is where they basically introduce like all
where pretty much like everything happens. Like these lunatics of like, I don't even know what to call them. POWs, lunatics. They're just like, oh, Section 8.
But before all this happens, he meets like his son is in like they show him in class.
Yeah, and
he's having trouble like dealing with his issue, which is understandable. That's a serious issue.
Yeah,
and I remember if I remember correctly, he gets like bullied by those kids.
Yeah, he gets bullied.
Which are those kids brutally. Are fucking assholes.
I mean, like,
so they're fucking jerks.
It's just like they come into the classroom and just like I think they ring the alarm.
Yeah,
and they're like walking around like, oh, we just broke the fucking alarm, and then they're just
like,
and then the poor kid on the ground just like covering his ears. Just like screaming and trembling, and then these fucking assholes come in and just like, hey ass, I want, what sounds good right now? Some Asperger's or something like that. I was
like, you don't have to get this fucking.
It was
so fucked up.
It wasn't even like they could have probably just showed those kids like pulling the alarm, and the kid like the students like knock over everything, and the kid like remembers all that. like in a phrase that the students like knock over or anything, but they didn't have to show like bullies.
Yeah, bullies
and fucking with that kid.
Yeah, that's just pushing it.
It's set up to one of probably the greatest scenes in the movie, though.
Yeah, very true.
Is the Halloween scene.
Yeah, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. But basically, so these kids bully him, we thought was okay, whatever. Just be a dicks, whatever. Yeah. It's common. It's understandable.
Yeah.
So this kid comes home and he finds the packages, if I'm correct. And
yeah,
he finds packages. He opens them up. He looks around and he's kind of like, "What the heck is this?" And while this is all happening, his mom is home.
Yeah.
But for some reason, she's asking him, "We gotta eat some supper or dinner," and she doesn't give a shit. She's like, "Oh, you got a box. It's all yours. Have it. Have fun."
Pretty much something like that.
Kid doesn't give a shit. The mom's like, he doesn't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. So he opens up the box, finds the badass fucking Predator mask that we all wanted as a kid. Let's be honest. We all wanted that fucking mask.
If I had that as a kid.
If I had it, it's pretty cool. And he finds the gauntlet too, and I think he starts playing with it like it's a goddamn toy, right?
Yeah, like some sort of mythical weapon.
Yeah, some sort of mythical weapon.
Like he doesn't know what
he doesn't know what he's really messing with. So he starts playing around with his toys. While that's going on, they cut back, I think, back to outer space, and you can see the actual Predator in space, like another Predator in space coming towards them. And I'm guessing the Gauntlet's kind of calling to him, or
it's like what was it? Really bad, but like it was lost cargo that the other Predator had stole, and he's trying to get, for some weird reason, he's trying to bring to Earth.
Yes, but supposedly it's like something to do with the Predator, like it's all connected back to him.
And so,
but yeah, basically,
this super Predator, who's 11 feet tall, chases after this regular Predator who stole all his like precious cargo. And that's explained throughout the film, like through Olivia Munn and all her bullshit.
Yeah, and previously, before that, it's like so he meets up with those guys, which we explained, and they all kind of go like everybody's basically it's like everybody's getting like met with each other.
Yeah,
he gets acquainted. They're all crazy in a certain sense. Well, they're not really crazy. They're just ordinary people that have gone through like distress things.
Yeah,
it's like a dark humor kind of thing.
Yeah, they've been through war.
And that's where the regular Predator they found. So basically, earlier on in the film, when he got the gauntlet and the mask and all that, he defeated the Predator in a sense, and they took him back. Remember, and they took him to like the scientist, and they're all like looking at him. And I remember specifically that when they're looking at the scientist, they're finding out like, whoa, like this, like they're looking into his stuff, and you find like all the old Predator stuff that's there as well, and you're kind of like, wow, like they have all the information on this old like Predator and stuff. And like you as a comic movie fan, you put an alien on a table, and you put chains on him,
and like an open environment with a shit ton of like 20 plus people around that alien.
I'm gonna be honest though. So obviously, as you expect, Predator does break out of his chains, and it's like holy shit. But I thought it was pretty cool, like the idea, because you always see the Predator's mouth open up.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's like fucking huge, and there's all big ass hooks. I always thought it was pretty cool that this is the first time like you actually see him like just bite someone's fucking hand off. He bites like somebody's arm or a hand off.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty shocking when I saw it though, because
he just starts fucking everybody up.
Just starts fucking turning people into spaghetti.
It's horrible though. Like everybody's getting fucked up. The scientists are all getting fucked up. And like you're watching this and you're kind of like, holy shit! Like what are they gonna fucking do?
Yeah, nothing that you can't.
Nothing you really can do. And which by the way, that now we have this women scientist who is like now become another main character in the movie. So you're kind of like, okay, this is gonna be really interesting.
If I remember correctly, she was asked to be brought in.
Yeah, she was asked to be brought in.
Or she, for some reason, they abducted her.
Because she worked on like some sort of other scientist.
Yeah, she worked with them, and she like asked. She specifically asked to be shown it if there was another alien, an alien that will come by. And she's heard the rumors like of other predators, and then she was able to get like invited to that place, but she didn't know what she was getting herself into. So when she saw it, she was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like pretty much fanning out.
Yeah, and what's crazy is like during all this situation where like they're fighting them, they're like having to fight them all off, And, like, she's like, holy crap, like, I'm just trying to survive.
Yeah.
Like, her first instinct, I guess, because there's, like, this chamber that you have to use to get in that's kind of like, if you go through it, you have to get, like, sanitized. So she was just trying to get through the door. She takes all of her clothes, and, like, the Predator, like, she takes off her clothes, and she looks up, and she just sees the Predator right there, and he's like, fuck, I'm not going to fuck with you. You're worthless.
Yeah.
So he just walks out. But, like, she's like, holy shit, let me just get out of here. But, like, the scientists treat it like, please, don't let him leave.
Yeah.
You've got to get him back. And at that point in time, I was like, wait a second, come on, man. Like, this isn't worth it anymore. Motherfucker will fuck you, throw you across the damn room. Like, you saw so many people just getting chopped up and thrown upon and destroyed. And he's not even using, like, weapons. He's just fucking you up with his bare hands. This guy's like, what, 6'6", 6'9"?
No, he's 11. He's
the first Predator.
The first Predator is like 6 something.
6 something, yeah.
And then the fucking buffed up super mutant Predator is like 11.
Super mega Predator. That's what we're calling for.
This Predator looked like a straight up bitch.
Yeah. But yeah, so basically he breaks out of there. Like, they're trying to stop him, and throughout this whole process of trying to stop him, like, he basically fucks everybody up. The scientist gets knocked out somehow.
Yeah.
And
the thing escapes. The Predator escapes one way or another, and I forgot her name, but Olivia Munn is the actress, and she fucking chases the Predator. The scientist becomes a superhero badass and fucking starts chasing this guy.
Yeah.
She's running through
like
with an I don't know what exactly she was running through.
She was running with like a tranquilizer gun.
Yeah, the tranquilizer gun.
Herself in the foot. That's the solution. That's the solution to the whole problem. Now we know how she got knocked out. She was like, "Wait a second, I suck. I'm not trained or anything." She gets knocked out, and those same military guys, which the main army guy, the sniper at the beginning of the movie, he recognizes that. He recognizes that he sees that she got shot, and like. Yeah. The military guys who brought her in to like help her with it betray her, and they're like say eliminate her, which we don't know really why.
Yeah, she knows too much.
She guess she knows too much, and they're kind of like fuck it.
Now she's an enemy.
Yeah, she's an enemy. I guess they imply that everybody else is an enemy, so they basically go after her, and like he's like, nah, fuck that. So he saves her, and they all save her, and they all kind of like just end up showing up, waking up. She like wakes up to them, and they're all just chilling there in a room, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they were saying they were like trying to make her comfortable. They're giving her coffee.
Yeah, they're like
pizza,
really awkward.
They're just like, she's not gonna like that. And like, don't worry, she'll like it.
Yeah, it's like, don't worry, she'll like it.
I know women.
I know women. It's like, what the fuck? Okay.
And there's a guy in there that looks like me, so.
He kind of does. Let's be honest.
He's like brown and he has long hair.
That's when I was watching it in the theater, I just thought to myself, I was like, Renee. There he is, right there. This is the moment I've been waiting for. But no, so basically, like, they find her. She wakes up. She's like, what the fuck? She tries to leave, and he's like, if you go out there, you have no chance. They're gonna come after you. And she's like, okay. It's like, all right, well, fuck it. You're right.
I'll stay with you.
I'll stay with you. And
you guys, I don't trust you guys.
And what they don't realize is the Predator's going after his son now. Which this is the point of the movie where I'm kind of like, okay, so let me get this straight. The son is down the street from the father, but the father is the sniper, and he was in Vietnam. If I remember correctly, he was somewhere. He was not in America, hunting somebody down, sniping him. But the base is in the same location as the
town,
as the jungle, and as the town is the same location as his son's suburb for Halloween. So, and which we explain later on when he goes to meet up with his son. When he goes to meet up at his wife's house to see where his son's at, because the Predator's looking for him, the original Predator.
Yeah.
That they haven't seen him in such a long period of time. But you think about it, he's just down the street. Only like a 30-minute drive, and
I think it was something like that. Like the base was somewhere close, and the town was like X amount of minutes away. I'm
you don't really think about it. You're like, it's not that. It's not really that far away. So So they basically...
So they go, and these are just like, well, where's the shit? And like, I gave it to my son. And so they go there, they enter the house, and they're just like, where's my son? And then his wife's all like, well, he went trick-or-treating. And then the guy probably was thinking in his head, like, why'd you let him go by himself? But anyways,
he went trick-or-treating by himself. Like, there's no
trick-or-treating by himself.
Which, by the way, by this time, the kid has developed superpowers to where he can understand all alien technology.
And he knows how to wear the alien mask.
The alien mask, even though the motherfucker is the size of his whole abdominal. And he physically can wear it on his head without his head dropping to the floor, slamming into the concrete.
Beautiful. It adapted.
It's incredible.
So
yeah, he cuts to the kid. You go back to the kid, and he's basically just...
He's just wandering about with a fucking giant predator mask.
Yeah, he does.
And kids are looking at him like, oh my god, it's so scary. I mean...
Everybody's
I'm just like, oh, shit, yes, I'm watching a Predator movie.
Kid is got a big head.
So, one of my favorite parts happens in the movie where the two bullies in the beginning, who called them who were talking shit to them, come in.
This is where like you're supposed to get like that reaction, like, yeah, finally, fuck those guys.
So like, they fucking start fucking with them.
For fun.
They start like talking shit to him, like, "Oh, hey, it's the Asperger's kid. Like, oh, you ain't shit.
And this kid, all he did was he went to a house, right? That like there's not even a Halloween house.
It's just like a bunch of teenagers having a party.
Yeah, having a party.
And he goes in like trick or treat, like real sweet, and they're just like, and then I think the kids,
kid, fuck,
and they throw a fucking like a cup or something at his head.
Throw him in there. He's like, boom! And like,
hits him in the back of the head.
You would think it would cut to like the kid looking around, like, oh shit. And like, oh fuck, like the kid's helmet scares the kid. You would think there would be something nice like that. It's like, no, fuck that. Straight up, kid gets hit in the back of the fucking head. Boom. Kid looks around. Oh shit! Fucking head turns into double missile rockets. Shoots backwards. Blows the motherfucker's whole house up. Instantly killing every single motherfucker inside that goddamn house. Is dead. Completely fucking no chance. You knew it was dead. The house blew up. Like, okay, so like basically.
Hold on. There was a scene before that where you could see the guy who threw the like cup or whatever at the kid's head. That missile impaled him and just obliterated his torso.
So it's so fucking horrific. Like, you see him like get hit by the missile, destroys him instantly.
That's not enough.
But it's like the creator of Shane Black was like, motherfucker needs to explode completely. I need to see this dude incinerate in front of me. So this dude's house, well, literally, you could just see just double explodes. Like, it goes doom, 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 doom. Kid flies forward. The helmet doesn't protect the back of his head, but he still is protected. He goes, oh shit!
Fucking there.
He hits forward. The other two bully kids are like, oh fuck, fly backwards.
And the funny thing is that the kid's just like fucking do something.
So the kids are like on the floor because they're fucked up. Like, they just saw a massive goddamn explosion.
Like a guy,
double missile
man
rocket.
Just died.
Yeah, a man. Like whoever was in that house, anything that was in that house, or even in the vicinity, anybody who was in the backyard, anything, the bugs inside the grass were dead. No one was gonna live from that fucking explosion. So
instantly dead.
They're all dead. Everyone's dead. So the kid gets up and he's like, "What the fuck just happened?" Like, he doesn't know what the fuck just happened. He looks at the kids on the floor. The kids on the floor are like, oh shit. Like, what the fuck was that? And the kid, like, he's like, what the fuck? It must have been this mask. So he gets the mask. What does he do, Renee?
He fucking, like, shoves it in the kid's face. And he just pretty much just, like, tries to go at him. But, like, he stops himself. And the kids are just like, and they fucking run away.
They fucking they're like, fuck this.
No disregard that he killed like probably 15 innocent people.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He doesn't even care.
I think Shane Black watched that episode of Stranger Things, the one with where Eleven shows up and just fucks those kids up. It makes one of them like piss their pants. He was like, I'll fucking double that shit. Blows the motherfucker up behind him. That's all he had to do.
My absolute favorite scene in that entire film.
So from there on, what? So the
plot thickens from there.
So the predator basically, the kid walks up, which I think this scene's kind of weird. So the kid walks up. He's like trying to still find his. He's trying to walk around. He's kind of sad, and it's like this beautiful moment where this bulldog or pit bull walks up to him. And the kid's like, "Oh my god, please don't!" And the dog walks up and he's like. It's like this moment of man's best friend.
Yeah.
And that, I guess Shane Black was trying to convey, like, the dog is your friend and he'll always be there for you. Even though this kid didn't know where this dog came from, didn't have a leash, no idea where it came from.
Yeah.
And, like, they kind of hug each other. But then this is where the movie gets really wild. So I guess people liked Predator's design. So Shane Black because Shane Black was one of the writers as well in the film.
Yeah.
He had the idea. He was like, "What if we had dog predators?
Space
dog." And they had those same dreadlocks, but they were fucking dogs. Yeah. And these dogs move kind of slow. It's just kind of
at first. Yeah, they move kind of slow.
They're just like going kind of forward.
And so,
yeah,
two of them. Pop out from the bushes.
They come out from the bushes
in a perfectly positioned. Like football
field, which is when his dad shows up in the army truck.
I mean, before that, they had a whole moment where he was just like, "I'm gonna go look for my son. You guys are all fucking pussies."
Yeah, which is like you don't even see it coming, and like everybody's like, "Fuck!" Like oh shit,
shit. What are we? I'm not a pussy. I'm gonna go with them.
Yeah, this one guy
literally says just like, "I'm not going because I'm."
Oh yeah, because his wife makes like a big speech. She's like, my husband might be a lot of things, but there's one thing he's for sure. He's not a fucking pussy. And I think like, and he's just like, and then the guy goes up there and he's like, your speech fucking sucked. I was not motivated at all by that bullshit. But I'll be completely honest with you. I ain't no fucking pussy.
And he's like, no one calls me a pussy.
Nobody calls me a pussy.
Walks out the door.
The two other dudes, they're like, you know what? Let's not save him. I'm going to chill here on this couch. You got any food? And she's like, no.
And then like the guy's like, come on, get up. And he's just like, oh, I liked your speech.
He's like, you know what? To be honest, I liked your speech. And then they go on.
And so plot thickens even more.
Obviously, the plot thickens more.
It's becoming more like molasses.
So basically, they find the kid. They find these dogs. So these dogs are basically just chilling there.
Yeah.
Which they hadn't been attacking yet.
I don't know. I think they were just
I think they're like shooting all their clips into them too.
Yeah, no. They found the kid like I think by luck. They just looked around for him, and they found him. I think they split up into groups and they found him, and they found a blown up house and they're just like, oh, he's here. And then like they fucking
found him on that football field.
And they ended up like tracking him to the football field.
Yeah, and
where they just in time for him to be saved because those dogs were about to fucking annihilate him.
Yeah, the little pit bull was like.
Yeah, the pit bull ran away by this time.
No, I thought the pit bull stayed. Oh, yeah, I did run away. You're probably right. Man's best friend fails you.
Just fuck this.
Fails you completely.
Fuck this.
But if I remember correctly, it does one of the. So those predator dogs. Mm-hmm. How does he kill one of them? Does he blow it the hell up from the inside? It eats
bullets
something.
Couldn't penetrate.
It couldn't penetrate it, so they were just shooting it like forever, not doing anything.
But these guys were in the military, so
what do they do to put it in its mouth to blow it the hell up?
You know what they put in its mouth?
Was it a grenade?
It was definitely a grenade. Was it a grenade? It was a grenade.
But I remember.
I mean, it was a struggle for them to like kill these dogs because they're figuring it out.
Well, the second dog they don't end up killing. Remember, they shoot in its head.
Yeah,
and it's like stupefied.
And
it stupefies the fucking dog.
It lost its like brain cells and its will to like hunt and be aggressive.
Yeah.
So the first one
which is kind of sad now that you put it, like stupefied.
And that dog is like a recurring thing. It became this badass thing, and it just becomes this recurring thing of just a stupid ass fucking dog.
So later on in the film, so they beat these dogs, and they're kind of like, wow, this is a great moment.
Yeah.
But Renee's character, who is himself, ends up getting pulled up by the real predator, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah.
And like everybody's like, oh shit, what the fuck? And the predator pulls him up.
I mean, he's pretty badass.
Yeah, the predator pulls him up, and like at this point, I believe we've all figured out that the predator, for some reason. So the predator pulls him up and he's like, give me my weapon. And they're like, oh shit, nah bro. And like he drops his friend because he has the weapon. They start following him into a building.
Yeah.
And the Predator grabs like his son and like tries to get his mask, and like he's about to kill the guy for taking his weapons, if I'm correct, right? Mm-hmm. And that's when the super mega predator shows up.
Yeah.
Completely fucks him up.
Yeah.
So they're
fucking crazy.
The original Predator is like 6'9" or something.
Yeah.
He's a pretty tall fucking guy, and I thought like, wow, this is scary. But they put him like side by side,
and
the
he
super
like fucking tiny.
Yeah. He looked really tiny. The other guy was like you said, he was 11 feet tall, right?
I mean, I think by the end of the film or whatever, they mentioned him being 11 feet tall, but he was fucking tall, and he made the 6'9" Predator look like puny.
Yeah, and what's crazy too is that like he like they fight for like a couple minutes, and the Predator's getting fucked up.
Yeah,
and he like slams him onto a car, and I don't know if he just punches him, but he smashes his face, and his face is like destroyed.
Yeah.
And then he grabs his head and he rips his head off, and you see his spine. And he's like, whoa, like destroying him completely. And when you see him destroyed completely, you're like, oh fuck.
And it's just like, well, I think at that point,
that's
like,
when
it was kind of like a rewarding thing to see the predator that was trying to kill them get killed by that giant predator.
But your thought to think, you're like, okay, cool, it's finally over. But then you're like, wait a second. So all of the scientists start to figure out, like, wait a second, this mega predator, what we found out from the original predator was actually trying to help us. It was trying to get us a weapon, or some sort of thing to help us defeat the mega predator. Because the thing is, they believe that the predators are evolving.
Yeah.
But if you think about it that way, why the fuck was he fucking everybody up? We're trying to make sense of this for a second. So he does that, but what's the point
of him just like destroying all these other like puny ones? I may have gotten confused.
No. What's the point of him fucking everybody up in the hospitals, beating the shit out of all the humans?
See, that's where I got confused. That's where I got confused. I don't know which predator.
You're led to believe he's like the hero of Earth, but he fucking kills everybody.
He just kills everybody.
Who's he to give the
brutally?
So basically, he ends up like completely. He got fucked up. The mega predator is like everybody decides like, holy fuck, the mega predator is really fucking tough. So I think it like builds up to like this ultimate fight at the end of the film where they're like deciding like, you know, the mega predator decides that he's hunting the chosen one or some sort of thing like that, right?
Well, it's like an evolutionary trait that the humans have, and they want to get from like a specific human. It pretty much is them saving the human as a trophy.
Yeah, saving like
for
the human
evolving for them to be able to evolve.
Yeah, and like this predator decides like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck that kid up. And everybody there is kind of like, holy shit, like this is fucking wild.
Yeah.
So like he ends up fighting this like everybody like, so basically throughout the film you see like these villainous characters, but they're also military, and the whole film like they're like, you know what, let's put bygones be bygones and let's work together. So they basically work together for this specific moment, just to fight the mega predator, because the mega predator tells everybody like, you know what, you got a little bit of time before I fuck you all up. Mm-hmm. So this is actually what I think. To me personally, this is like my favorite parts of the movie. This ending sequence. So everybody basically starts fighting.
Yeah, pretty much. Bygones by bygones. The people were getting hunted. The group that was getting hunted by this FBI agents, they work together, and so they're just like, okay. At the last minute, when the predator says, "I'm gonna blow up this fucking planet," or blow up this area, they're just like, we'll work together. And so they
they say something, right? When they say specifically, he literally says something. He says something to him. Exactly.
I remember they were walking around the woods, and they were just like, oh, okay, we gotta go. And like, oh, we're working really well together. And the guy's just like, the sniper guy is just like, after all this, we're gonna dance.
Oh yeah, we're gonna dance.
Us two are gonna dance. And he looks so straight in the eye. He's like, I already picked up my shoes.
I'm like, fuck. Shane Black, you fucking comical fucking Round of applause, Shane.
Round of applause for that. My favorite quote of 2018.
So what's really good. So they basically they all start working together and they all get all their weapons, get everything they can, and they start getting ready. So the Mega Predator decides, you know what? And what's crazy too is the Mega Predator just tell everybody. He changes his voice into English for a split second. Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna fuck you all up. Basically, he's trying to say making it short and sweet.
He tells all his real plans of what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
And there it is.
So everybody starts fighting this predator, and this is basically the moment in the film where if you had built any sort of bond with these characters, God fuck, that's rough. That is rough. So let's put it into perspective. So the first, so
I liked all these characters.
What's the one? Is it Keenan or Peele?
It's Key.
Is it Key? What's his name?
It's Keegan something Key. I think. It's Keegan. He has a middle name.
No, it doesn't matter. Anyway, him and his best friend were in the film. Are one of the funniest two guys throughout the whole film.
Great duo.
Great duo throughout the film. They have great moments. That's funny. They're always being really funny.
Yeah.
Well, throughout the film, they've always decided that they want to die, which is pretty dark and sad. Shane Black, I don't know what you're trying to tell us, but God, man, this is just dark shit. They're so fucking dark, and they're really just trying to die, and the Mega Predator. So they decide they volunteer themselves to go first. Hey, we'll be the front line. Mm-hmm. So if this Mega Predators come, we'll take them on, and then we'll be the trap. So plan doesn't work fucking at all. They get fucked up. I think one of them gets thrown. So this is how fucked up it is. He grabs one of them, he's fucking him up.
Yeah.
And one of them, the guy has Tourette's. It's he's making outrageous remarks throughout the whole film.
Yeah.
So he grabs the ultimate predator, just grabs him, throws him at a fucking tree. He gets speared by the tree. And then the other one shoots him, and I think either his bullets recoil. They recoil.
He gets hurt somehow.
He gets and he's bleeding out from his stomach.
Okay, so they were perfectly placed where they could see each other in a straight diagonal
and they
line.
both have each other's weapons still.
And they both have each other's weapons, and they both look at each other. They shake their heads, yes, and they fucking point the guns at each other. And pull the triggers, ending their lives.
Ending their lives
automatically.
No, it's just what the... Okay. Well,
that's what I needed.
That's what we needed, I guess.
I've never seen it in
the
a film.
sympathetic, dark humor. I bet you Shane Black, when he wrote that,
and
he was
it's funny because
people are going to laugh at this shit right here. And I was fuck,
it's kind of funny because it was a wide shot of them just slumping over and dying as immediately as they got shot.
And what's crazy is because so they keep fighting, and one of the villain military guys, who's the main villain military guy, he decides to himself, he's you know what? He puts on in Predator they have those blasters you put on your shoulders, and they're doom doom, and he can just shoot from his shoulder without even pressing anything.
And he looks left and right.
And he looks left and right and shoots it.
And the turn will move with him.
So he moves with him, right? So he they're actually fucking up this ultimate predator a little bit, and that's how they're actually injuring him. And this dude turns to his left, but I guess his shoulders tilted to a little bit to the left as well. So the blaster just turns to his head and blows his fucking head off. Stupidest fucking way to die. So pathetic. His dancing shoes ass, stupid quote ass.
I was just
I was
oh no.
That was when I first saw the movie, I saw it by myself, and I know when I thought about it, I didn't see this with Renee.
I saw it by myself.
I thought about it. I was I didn't know that happened until Renee reminded me. I was because when I talked to Renee about it, I was I didn't even realize he blew his fucking head off. When I thought about it, because Renee was dude, did you see that scene where that dude blew his own fucking head off? And I was what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
And then when I rethought about it, I was holy fuck, he really blew his stupid ass head off. His
stupid face shocked as shit, and then
so he blew his own head off.
1 second was there, 1 second.
So there's only two friends left. There's the guy that looks like Renee, and then there's this other guy who is
oh, this guy actually was in Moonlight.
Yeah, he was in Moonlight. He was the main actor. Yeah. He was the male actor at the end of Moonlight.
The oldest actor.
The oldest actor in Moonlight. And he's doing a fantastic job. I didn't know he had such comedy chops.
Yeah.
Considering in Moonlight he played such a serious role.
Mm-hmm.
But he basically they're all working together, and he's pretty his backstory is he tried to shoot himself in the head, but he missed.
Yeah.
His head was, I guess, too strong. And he basically they get up on the spaceship, and so the Predator gets his son. The Mega Predator grabs his son, takes him to the spaceship, says, "I don't need to fight any of you guys anymore. I've got my trophy." He tries to fly off. So these guys are like, "Holy shit, we gotta do something."
The soldier's like, "My son,
no.
Take my fucking son."
So in your this situation, you have option A. You try to shoot this spaceship down with everything you got. Wait a second, that's not going to work because none of your weapons work. 2, the scientist, maybe you could figure something out to get the spaceship down. Well, she doesn't do that.
No, that's wrong.
So that doesn't happen. Or 3, jump on the fucking spaceship, which has absolutely no fucking way to hold on to, but you think it's a good idea. So that's exactly what they do. They jump onto the spaceship.
First of all, the sniper jumps up, and then the other 2 guys are just like, "Fuck it," and the long hair guy is just like, "I don't want to jump on it." He's like, "You're fucking jumping off," and he pushes him.
He pushes him and he lands on it, which kind of is sad to think about because this is my favorite. Okay, this is my favorite part of the whole movie. So let's put this in perspective.
It's so sad.
My favorite thing about this movie is creative new ideas, and this is the most creative. So I don't know if you've seen this or not. In a lot of spaceship movies, like Star Wars and stuff, they create like projector shields on top of the spaceships.
Force field.
Like force fields. And you always think to yourself, like, man, what did that? All they do is just protect the ship. Well, in this movie, like, no, they don't protect the fucking ship. They make sure nothing can get to the ship.
It's like a case.
So he turns on his shield. And like it's covering the whole ship.
It's slowly covering and like reaching forward.
And the military guy's like, "Oh shit!" So he like bends down. There's like the Matrix, and you see it like go straight by, but like it burns like slightly some of the stuff. You're like, "Oh shit!" So it can burn you.
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't just burn you. So like the other 2 guys are like, "Oh fuck!" What
it's coming towards us, and like at this moment, I'm just thinking like, how do they know this? How do they know that like it's gonna fuck them up? Yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen. And I'm looking at them like they know, like, oh shit.
So this is my favorite scene in the film. The guy from Moonlight basically decides like, no, I'm not gonna get fucked up by this, so he kind of avoids it. So Renee, the Renee character does not make a decision at all. He starts shooting the force field, believing that will help a force field to stop being a force field. And you know what happens? He gets motherfucking sliced in half.
His knees.
But his knees are like chopped off, and he goes, ah! Flies off the spaceship, Darth Maul style, completely flies fucking. Ah! You know he's dead. There's no fucking way. His arms are waving in the air. Yeah, he's like 100 feet in the air. 100 feet in the air.
He fucking died.
Flies off. He's dead. You know he's dead.
Brutally.
He did a great job though. Like working his way throughout the film, he did a really good job.
At that moment, a little tear in my eye came about.
Yeah, Renee's like, this is so.
I was like, that was me.
That was me right there.
I knew he was gonna die, but I didn't want him to die that bad. He should have just got like shot and blood out.
So basically, I think this is one of the Renee's favorite.
This is my favorite scene. This is actually and I saw it because it reminded me of you so much.
Oh yeah, I don't know why you said that.
So it's just like they're on top. So the guy from Moonlight and the sniper both end up like looking at each other in the eyes, and like the guy who has the headroom just looks at him, and then he looks at the fucking jet engine, and he looks at him, looks back, and he's like, the sniper's just like, don't do it, no, don't do it, you crazy son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And he straight up.
This is another Shane Black, let's get fucking dark moment.
What this guy does is he looks at him, he flicks him the fuck off, and he says, ah, and then fucking jumps into the fucking
propeller, and you get to see his body's like fucking incinerate.
And just like at first, you just kind of see his like body kind of spin,
contort,
and then and then it gets spun up, and like he's a fucking like he's getting blended.
Yeah, he's blended into like pieces while exploding at the same time. He might have got a worse fucking death than the guy that got shot in the chest by the kid, just looking backwards. I don't know whose death was worse, but they're both pretty fucking bad.
Oh my god. Anyways, it blows up the fucking engine,
which brings the ship completely down.
Yeah, it brings them down. The sniper guy is able to get into the ship, and then he gets out of the ship.
So they basically figure out this ultimate predator puts his shield on, which is basically like a bodysuit inside of his bodysuit. So like, unlike the original Predator doesn't really have a shield. He just basically he had a suit. Like, basically the Mega Predator's suit is inside of his skin, which made his skin, like, unapproachable. Yeah. But somehow, some way, the army dude figures out, like, hey, or the sniper guy figures out, like, hey, what if I just get your weapon? Will they fucking work against you? Gets all of his weapons, they shoot everything at him. The girl comes in there, tries to help him, and they somehow end up beating him.
You know, I don't remember how.
They fuck him up pretty hard. They blow his arms off.
I think, yeah, it's something like that. They ended up finding his grenade.
Yeah.
They find his grenade, and they end up, like, in a last, like, draw of them fighting through, like, this muck and this really cool scene, which I think is pretty cool, where they have this, like, last stand, and then all of a sudden, like, the girl comes out of nowhere and just, like, jumps on him and fucking starts fucking him up. And then he gets the space grenade. He blows him the fuck up. They both, like, fly off, like, a little cliff or whatever. And then he looks at him in the eyes as he's like, rah, rah, and he gets his pistol out, and he's just like, why are you here? And then he's just like, rah, and he's like, shut the fuck up. And he fucking shoots him in the face. Oh, yeah. He's like, fuck you, or something like that.
Which is really, so the movie, that's basically the final fight scene. And they dissolve into, like, this beautiful ending, but it's not over yet.
Yeah.
You see, because it goes back to the scientist. Now, this kid has become so advanced, apparently. The kid is now a scientist himself.
Yeah, he's a scientist. He graduated from Harvard.
And he found out that they found out what the Predator originally was bringing there, and they found this so-called ultimate weapon. Mm-hmm. So they open up this case, and it's like a box or something.
It's like some weird, like, gauntlet.
And like this scientist, like his regular scientist, is like a nerdy scientist. He's like, I don't know what this is, and he goes like,
and it just like starts taking over his body.
And it's like a Power Ranger. He's like,
I thought he was gonna die.
Yeah, you just see him like struggling. He's like,
everyone's just like, back up.
And like, what's crazy? It felt like an episode. It felt like the movie Son of the Mask when like he go like, smoke it, and the guns come out of his chest. This dude turned into the metal transformer Predator, and he like gets up, and like the scientist inside it's like, help me, and you just see him like all like, buffed up,
like all badass,
and like the guns are all coming out of his chest.
It's just like
lasers coming
out of everybody. Everyone's like, oh fuck,
oh shit.
And the scientist, I think is it the scientist or the kid? Anyways,
no, not the kid. The sniper guy goes, hey, looking at my new suit.
It was something like that. He's like, we find out that was brought to like kill the predators, and that's the Predator killer suit.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a kid or science that said it. Doesn't matter. Anyways, it's the Predator killer suit.
Yeah.
For the humans, that's brought by the other predators, and the guy's just like, that's my new toy. Badass. Cuts the credits. Roll the movie. Fucking beautiful. I looked at the screen. I looked around. Everyone looked at me. There were some people walking around outraged.
Yeah, basically in my theater, there was like old timers behind me. I saw the movie when it came out, and I remember looking back, and there were some older guys in there, and some guys were like sitting there sweating, like, "Fuck, dude, this isn't what I was looking forward to." And from the original Predator, if I remember, it's pretty comical a little bit, but it's really dark. It's like a cheesy, dark like monster movie.
It wasn't meant to be like. It wasn't meant to be cheesy, but a lot of movies in the 80s were fucking like cheesy.
Yeah, but I think Shane Black wasn't typically trying to like.
I mean, it was cool.
To be completely, I liked it.
I liked it a lot.
I liked it, but I also like it because anything with something just for too ridiculous sometimes it's just great stuff.
They died really ridiculously.
Yeah, and I think to be honest,
the deaths were funny.
It was vicious. It was vicious film, but it was like. If you like to see like that popcorn, ridiculous, slapstick death scenes, you've got it. Shane Black was like, I made The Nice Guys, and for some reason nobody wanted to watch it, which is a great movie if you ever get the chance. We're not trying to pitch anything, but The Nice Guys, that's definitely something I'd watch. But I think Shane Black typically, with what he had and like considering they gave him such a franchise that I don't think really anybody wanted another. I mean, I didn't want another movie, but if you're a fan that wants a movie, I totally support that. I just think that there's so many Predator movies, you should have been satisfied by now. Just me personally.
Yeah. To be honest, I haven't seen the first Predator.
Have you seen the first Predator?
I've seen AVP and AVP Resurrection. That shit was badass.
We're just gonna stop the podcast right now. We're so sorry.
I'm saying right now.
Oh shit!
Right now,
Wait,
I've seen Alien. I've seen Aliens. I've seen Alien
Let's just
3.
put this back to perspective.
Alien Resurrection didn't happen.
We both agree. Me and Renee would say we like this movie. Am I right?
Yeah, I did like it. I liked it a lot.
So yeah, that's The Predator 2018.
The Predator 2018.